board. Ok, guys, the last time. Vamos lá, repetindo junto com a teacher, em voz alta, sem parar para nada. Não distraiam, hein? Não distraiam. Bora, junto com a teacher e depois vai ser a finalização. Bora. When day came, the sea was quiet again. I looked for our ship and, to my surprise, it was still there. And still in one piece. I think I can swim to it, I said to myself. So I walked down to the sea, and before long I was at the ship, was swimming around it. But how could I get onto it? In the end, I got in through a hole in the side, but it wasn't easy. Vamos lá. There was a lot of water in the ship, but the sand under the sea was still holding the ship in one place. The back of the ship was high out of the water. And I was very thankful for this because all of the ship's food was there. I was very hungry, so I began to eat something at once. Then I decided to take some of it back to the shore with me. But how could I get it there? I looked around the ship, and after a few minutes, I found some long piece of wood. I tied them together with rope. Then I got the things that I wanted from the ship. There was a big box of food, rice and salted meat, and hard sheep's bread. I also took many strong knives and other tools, the ship's sails and ropes, paper, pens, books, and 7 guns. Now I needed a little sail from the ship, and then I was ready. Slowly and carefully, I went back to the shore. It was difficult to stop my things from falling into the sea. But in the end, I got everything onto the shore. Now I needed somewhere to keep my things. There were some hills around me, so I decided to build myself a little house on one of them. I walked to the top of the highest hill and looked down. I was very unhappy because I saw then that I was on an island. There were 2 smaller islands and a few miles away, and after that, only the sea. Just the sea for mile after mile after mile. After a time, I found a little cave, and in the side of a hill. In front of it, there was a good place to make a home. So I used the ship's sails, rope, and pieces of wood, and after a lot of hard work, had a very fine tent. The cave at the back of my tent was a good place to keep my food, so I called it my kitchen. That night, I went to sleep in my new home. The next day, I thought about the possible dangers on the island. Were there wild animals or perhaps wild people too on my island? I didn't know, but I was very afraid. So I decided to build a very strong fence. I cut down young trees and put them in the ground in a half circle around the front of my tent. I used many of the ship's ropes too, and in the end, my fence was as strong as a stony wall. Nobody could get over it, through it, or around it. Making tents and building fences is hard work. I needed many tools to help me. So I decided to go back to the ship again and get some more things. I went back 12 times, but soon after my 20th visit, there was another terrible storm. The next morning, when I looked out to see, there was no ship. When I saw that, I was very unhappy. Why am I alive? And why are all my friends dead? I asked myself. What will happen to me now alone on this island without friends? How can I ever escape from it? Then I told to myself that I was lucky, lucky to be alive, lucky to have food and tools, lucky to be young and strong. But I knew that my island was somewhere off the coast of South America. Ships did not often come down this coast. And I said to myself, I'm gonna be on this island for a long time. So, on a long piece of wood, I could these words. I came here on 30th, 30th, TH tem que fazer som, gente. 30th September 1659. After that, I decided to make a cut for each day. Okay, now let's go. We have here Agatha e Ariel para ler, ok? Então vamos lá, Agatha, os demais lendo junto, gente. Não perca essa oportunidade, por favor. Vamos lá, pode ir, Agatha. Seu tempo.
Desculpa se minha voz tá meio ruim, é porque eu tô. É por causa do tempo, minha voz tá meio ruim.
Sem problema, meu amor. Vai lá.
When they came, the sea was quiet again. I looked for a ship, and to my surprise, it was still there and still in one piece. I think I can swim to it, I said to myself. So I walked down to the sea, and before long, I was at the ship and I was swimming round it. But how could I get onto it? In the end, I got through a rolling and excited, but it wasn't easy. There was a lot of water in the ship, but the sand under the sea was still holding the ship in one place. The back of the ship was high out of the water,
Yes.
and I was very thankful for this because all the ship's food was there. I was very thankful for
I was very hungry.
I was very hungry, so I began to eat something at once. Then I decided to take some of it back to the shore with me. But how could I get in there? I looked around the ship, and after a few minutes, I found some long pieces of wood. I tied them together with hope. Then I got the things that I wanted from the ship. There was a big box of food, rice, and salted meat, and hard sheep's bread. I also took many strong knives, many strong knives. Ih, me perdi, peraí.
Aqui, ó, and other tools.
And other tools, the ship's sails and ropes, paper, pens, books, and 7 guns. Now I needed a little sail from the ship, and then I was ready. Slowly and careful, I went back to the shore. It was difficult to stop my things from falling into the sea.
Muito bom.
But in the end, I got everything onto the shore. Now I needed somewhere to keep my things. There were some hills around me, so I decided to build myself a little house, one of them. I walked to the top of the highest hill and looked down. I was very unhappy because I saw then that I was on an island.
Yes.
There were
There were,
two
aqui, there
smaller
were, isso,
there were two smaller islands
yes,
a few miles away.
yes.
And after that, on the sea, just the sea for mile after mile after mile.
Mile, yes.
After a time, I found a little cave in the side of a hill.
Yes.
In front of it, there was a good place to make a home. So I used the ship sails, rope, and pieces of wood, and after a lot of hard work, I had a very fine tent. The cave at the back of my tent was a good place to keep my food, and
Yes.
so I called my kitchen. That night, I went to sleep in my new home. The next day, I found out about the possible dangers on the islands, where there are wild animals and perhaps wild people too on my islands. I didn't know, but I was very afraid. So I decided to build a very strong fence. I cut down young trees and put them in the ground. In a half a, half a circle around the front of my tent. I used many of the ship's ropes too, and in the end, my fence was as strong as a stone wall.
Isso aí.
Nobody could get over it, drown it, or drown it. Making tents and building fences is hard work. I needed many tools to help me, so I decided to go back to the ship again and get some more things. I went back 12 times, but soon after my 12th
12th
visit, there was another terrible storm. The next morning, when I looked out to the sea to see, there was no ship. When I saw that, I was very unhappy. Why am I alive? And why are all my friends dead? I asked myself. What will happen to me now, alone on this island, without friends? How can I ever escape from it? Then I told myself that I was lucky to be alive, lucky to have food and tools, lucky to be young and strong. But I knew that my island was somewhere off the coast of South America.
South America.
Ships did not often come down this coast, and I said to myself, I'm going to be on these islands for a long time. So, on a long piece of wood, I cut this word. I came here on esqueci como fala.
30th
30 September 1659.
Yes.
After that, I decided to make a coat for each day.
Yes, very nice. Muito bem, minha linda, parabéns. Agora vamos lá, Ariel. Aliás, Agatha, antes de a gente ir para Ariel, queria que você, por gentileza, traduzisse. Vamos lá. Vamos lá. E os demais traduzindo junto com a Agatha, por gentileza. Vamos lá, vamos lá, vamos lá, vamos lá. Let's try it. Vamos lá.
Eu não fiz a tradução, eu não consegui fazer a tradução.
Sem problema. Vamos lá, Valesca, please. Aí vocês vão falando em português junto com ela, tá, galera? Por favor, para ir já associando e não perder nada. Pode ir, gatinho.
Só um instantinho, teacher, tem que achar meu papel aqui,
Sem problema.
senão eu me perco. Uai, cadê? Ai, caramba. Pior que eu coloquei aqui.
Sem problema. Vamos lá. Vou chamar outra pessoa, tá bom? Só pra gente ganhar
Vai,
tempo.
pode
Vamos
ir.
lá. Duda, pode ser Duda?
Eu.
Vamos lá, então, preciso. Todo mundo repetindo junto, gente, com atenção. Pode ir,
É
Duda,
para eu ler
please.
a tradução?
Só a tradução, please.
Tá bom, eu preciso só pegar minha folha.
Todo mundo achando os papéis.
É verdade, eu tô procurando o meu aqui ainda.
Até agora. Vamos lá, quem
Pronto,
achar primeiro? Já achou? Beleza. Vamos lá,
achei.
gente, todo mundo junto, hein? Acompanhando. Vamos lá, repetindo junto. Pode mandar.
É, quando o dia veio, o mar estava quieto novamente. Eu procurei pelo nosso navio e, para minha surpresa, ele ainda estava lá. E ainda em um pedaço. Eu acho que eu consigo nadar até ele, eu disse para mim mesma. Então eu desci até o mar e um tempo depois eu já estava no navio e estava nadando em volta dele. Mas como eu poderia entrar nele? No final, eu entrei através de um buraco ao lado, porém isso não foi fácil. Havia muita água no navio, mas a areia debaixo do mar mantinha o navio em um lugar. As costas do navio estavam para fora da água, e eu estava muito agradecido por isso, porque toda a comida do navio estava lá. Eu estava muito faminto, então eu comecei a comer algo de uma vez só. Então eu decidi pegar um pouco disso para levar para a costa, um pouco da comida para levar para a costa, mas como eu poderia chegar até lá? Eu olhei ao redor do navio e depois de alguns minutos, eu encontrei alguns longos pedaços de madeira. Eu liguei eles com uma corda e então eu peguei as coisas que eu queria do navio. Lá havia uma grande caixa de comida, arroz e carne salgada e pão duro do navio. Eu também peguei muitas facas e outras ferramentas, as velas do navio e cordas, papel, canetas, livros e 7 armas. Agora eu precisava navegar um pouco do navio. Então eu estava pronto. Lentamente e cuidadosamente, eu voltei para a costa. Foi difícil parar de fazer as minhas coisas caírem no mar, mas no fim eu obtive tudo na costa. Agora eu precisava de algum lugar para manter as minhas coisas. Haviam algumas colinas ao meu redor, então eu decidi eu mesmo construir uma pequena casa em uma delas. Eu andei até o topo da colina mais alta e olhei para baixo. Eu estava muito infeliz, porque eu vi que eu estava em uma ilha. Haviam 2 ilhas pequenas, a algumas milhas de lá, e depois disso apenas o mar por milhas e milhas e milhas. Depois de um tempo, eu encontrei uma pequena caverna no lado de uma colina. Em frente a ela estava um bom lugar para fazer uma casa. Então usei as velas e cordas do navio e pedaços de madeira. E depois de muito trabalho duro, eu tinha uma tenda muito legal. A caverna atrás da minha tenda era um bom lugar para manter minha comida, e então eu chamei ela de minha cozinha. Aquela noite eu fui dormir na minha nova casa. No dia seguinte, eu pensei nos possíveis perigos na ilha. Haviam animais selvagens e talvez pessoas selvagens também? Eu não sabia, mas eu estava com muito medo. Então eu decidi construir uma cerca muito forte. Eu cortei abaixo árvores jovens e as coloquei no chão, em um meio círculo em volta da frente da minha tenda. Eu usei muitas cordas do navio e, no fim, a minha cerca estava forte como uma parede de pedra. Ninguém poderia... Como é que é essa? Get over it.
Passar por cima dela.
Entendi. Ninguém poderia atravessá-la ou rodeá-la. Fazer tendas e construir cercas é um trabalho duro. Eu precisei de muitas ferramentas para me ajudar. Então eu decidi voltar no navio novamente e pegar mais algumas coisas. Eu fui e voltei 12 vezes, mas logo na minha 12ª visita,
Uhum.
houve outra terrível tempestade. Na manhã seguinte, quando eu olhei para o mar, não havia mais navio. Quando eu vi aquilo, eu fiquei muito infeliz. Por que eu estou vivo e por que todos os meus amigos estão mortos? Eu me perguntei, o que acontecerá comigo agora, sozinho nessa ilha, sem amigos? Como eu poderei escapar daqui? Então eu disse para mim mesmo que eu era sortudo. Sortudo por estar vivo, sortudo por ter comida e ferramentas, sortudo por ser jovem e forte. Mas eu sabia que a minha ilha estava em um lugar da costa da América do Sul. Navios geralmente não desciam até essa costa. E eu disse para mim mesmo, eu irei ficar nesta ilha por um longo tempo. Então, em um longo pedaço de madeira, eu cutilei essas palavras. Eu estive aqui em 30 de setembro de 1659. Depois disso, eu decidi fazer um corte para cada dia.
Very nice, thank you, todo mundo. E agora, vamos lá, Ariel, in English, please. Vamos lá.
Moving.
No seu tempo, yes.
One day came, the sea was quiet again. I looked for on our ship, and to my surprise, it was still there, and still in one piece. I think it can swing to it. I said to myself. So I walked down to the sea, and before long, I was at the ship and I was
Swimming.
without it. But how could I get one to reach it? In the end,
Yes.
I got in, so I hold it in the side, but it was it.
Isso.
There was a lot of water to the ship, but the sand on the ship was still whole with the ship in one place.
Oh.
The back of the ship was right walking
Out of the water.
out of the water, and I was very thankful for this because while the ship food was there,
Isso.
I was very hungry, so I began to eat something. At one day,
Isso.
não entendi.
Não, tá certo. Then I decided.
Some of it back to the shore with me. But how could I get it there?
Isso.
I watched a road trip, and after a few minutes, I put some long pieces of wood. I tied them together with hook. Then I got the that I wanted. There was a big box of food rice and salt meat and had shrimp
Bread.
bread. I also took many instruments, knives, and other tools. The ship sails and hoppers,
Paper.
pens, books, and 7 guns. Now I need a little
Sail.
and then I was right.
Ready. I was ready.
It's slowly.
Isso aí.
Slowly and very slowly I went back to the shore. It was so difficult
Difficult, isso aí.
to stop my things from falling into the ship. But in the end, I got a very thing on the shore. Now I need some. Tô lendo do celular, gente.
Somewhere.
Somewhere to keep my things. There were some hills around me, so I descended to build myself a little house on one of them. I walked through the top of the
Highest hill.
highest hill and looked down. I was very
Unhappy.
because I felt that I was one of Isaac. I went to Mother Island. A few miles arrived, and after there only to see, just to see for miles.
After mile.
After a time, I found a little cave in the side of a hill. In front of it, there was a good place to make a home. So I used the ship sail, food, and bills of the food, and after a lot of hard work, I had a very funny thing. The cave at the back of my thing was a good place to keep my food. And
Isso.
it took a carrot I might cook. That night I went to sleep in my new home. The next day I found about the possible danger wanted I were they wild animals and perhaps people too on my island. I didn't know, but I was very afraid. So I
Decided. So I decided.
quite a very strong fence. I took down young trees and put them in the ground.
Ground. I put them in the ground.
Put them in the ground
Isso.
in a healthy
Circle.
I wrote
Isso.
the song of my day. I used many of the sheep too, and in the end my fence was strong as a stone wall. Nobody else could get off it through each was it thing and
Building fences. Isso aí.
phrases in
Hard work.
work. I need many tools to help me, so I
Decided.
go back to the ship again and get some more things. I went back 12 times, but so after my
20th. 12th. Em verdade. 12th.
there was another terrible storm. The next morning, when I looked on the sea, there was the ship. When I saw that, I was very unhappy. When I looked at war, all my friends there, I asked myself, what will
Happen. Isso.
to me now, alone on this island